SX E2 6-1 18 and a quarter, 2 and a quarter, single concave, pretty much a pro shred stick. Not like these fat, wide, short boards you see today. This is a legit board, good travel board. Again, we have a little ding on the bottom nose part of the board we're going to be fixing here. Yes. Here's what we need to do a ding repair here. Just some of the basic materials. From left to right, we have a power vibrating sander, different grades, from fine to coarse. We have a mask. We have a scrap towel, plastic cup for the resin and hardener. Keep in mind, plastic cups will melt over time, so if you don't want that, deal with that, just get a glass jar of some sort. But when handling it for 5 to 10 minutes at a time, you should be okay in plastic. We have a razor blade. We have plastic glove. Behind it, we have the Ding-All polyester sanding resin, ultra clear, and we have the liquid M-Chem hardener. Disposable paintbrush, Ding-All, Q-Cell, micro bubble white filler, all-purpose masking tape, grades of hand sandpaper from fine to coarse. I recommend, between 80, 150, 220 will be enough to do it fine, but all spectrums preferable. Popsicle sticks for application. We have a flathead screwdriver for tough to reach spots. We have scissors for cutting. We have a plastic carve for application, and we have Monster Energy for energy to get this job done today. Again, those are the basic materials you will need to fix a small dings. My brother's board. We're gonna fix it for him. As you can see, it's just kind of like a little crack at first. What I did is I took our razor blade and made a few puncture wounds in it. That will help, divot it out, make it a hole so that we can fill it with Q-Cell and resin. So just like this. Boom, that's how we did it. Next, we're going to sand it down, which cleans and roughens up the surface for sticky resin. And after that, we're going to fill it. So, phase 1 clean. Open the wound, let it dry, most important, no water can be in there. Sand. Now we're going to move to our first resin / Q-Cell has cured. It's ready to go. A lot of people will do all these steps at once. I like to do them one at a time, especially when you're using catalyst curing that's not sun cured. Again, so let's get back to the topic at hand. First one is cured. Masking tape is on still. We have a little piece of fiberglass here. We're just going to add a little strength to it, put it over top. If it was bigger, I'd use obviously a bigger piece, as well as multiple layers of fiberglass. But it being a small puncture wound, it's not really critical to the strength of the board. We're just going to go easy on it. Fiberglass comes from a big sheet like this. I recommend wearing gloves or long sleeves, or you will get itchy. We used our scissors, talked about, to cut a little piece of square fiberglass. Alright, application. I like to leave the masking tape on, just make the fiberglass smaller than the masking tape. It's going to fit right over top, but first we're going to get the resin secured. Okay. Same Ding-All polyester resin using a catalyst, M-Chem. Have not put the catalyst in yet. We will do it in about a moment. Get your disposable paintbrush ready, because you're not going to be keeping it after this. Mask on. All right. Again, we used about 15 drops, no Q-Cell. Low cold I actually use a couple extra drops, but again, it's 10 drops per ounce is standard, 20 drops per ounce for Q-Cell. Increase the hardener if it's really cold out. So we're going to mix. Make sure that that hardener is evenly distributed. Next, paintbrush. We're going to get some resin on the dry surface first. So just like you're painting fence or something, it's nice even strokes, get it nice and wet. Then we're going to add fiberglass sheet over top. I like to use the gloved hand to kind of make sure there's no bubbles, get it nice and flat. And then we're going to do it again. More resin over top. Piece of fiberglass will move on you. Just try and brush it so that it doesn't move too much. You know, it starts moving one way, brush it the other way, vice versa. Make sure it's nice and saturated. This takes a lot of resin to get absorbed into it properly. Make sure there's no bubbled up surfaces. Now we're ready to roll. Okay, as you can see, kind of, it's like that. We're going to let this bad boy dry. We're going to come back for the next step. Apply the fiberglass coat. As you can see, I'll zoom in. That's what it should pretty much look like after you're done. Right now I'm going to remove the masking tape and sand the area down so that you're not going to see the edges of the fiberglass. And then we will be ready for the final hot coat here. So stay with me. Alright, we're back. Just sanded down the fiberglass second coat. Basically, as you can see, you can barely see anything left. There's the hole. You see a little fiberglass. But that's about it. I got the edges down pretty good. I used 40 grit all the way up to 220 just to get the edges down. And I used my power sanding, vibrating sander to take down the first part of it and then hand sanded the rest. That's kind of how you do it. The tape is prepping for what's known as the hot coat. That's basically going to be the final coat for the small ding here. It'll gloss it up, and then we'll taper in the edges and sand it down. Some fine grade, make it look good. Alright, we'll be back after that's done. Alright, we're about to add the hot coat. This is the final coat, hopefully, depending on how it looks. Again, we're going to be using polyester resin with a catalyst. The catalyst is the M-Chem catalyst. You know, for the final coat, I like to add a little bit more catalyst. It'll make it dry faster as well, so that'll help. So 10 drops per ounce again. I added 15. Like I said, we're gonna make it cure a little faster. Stir it, nice long stir. Now we have a taped off area here just to guard the rail and the angle of the board for the drip. And we're gonna paint it on. It's gonna help shine up the board. So strengthen it, make it seal anything in there. Fiberglass will be sealed again. A little bit more. Try and give it No bubbles, right? That's it. Alright, that'll take about an hour to fully cure. After that, we'll be able to sand it down and show you what it looks like then. Stick with me. Back at you here, Steve G. Final stage of ding repair on Simon Anderson board. Been working on. So let me take you through the sanding process first. What we did was we used these grades of sandpaper right here, starting with a 40 grade coarse paper on your left. Then we moved on to, looks like 150. That was kind of to buff out the edges of the hot coat. Then we moved on to 100 grade. That was over the entire hot coat to kind of start blending it back into the board. The 220, again, that's for blending purposes, kind of make it look like the board. And this black wrinkled one, that's 320 wet. So that is really for buffing out your board, making it kind of look like the fiberglass again. So those are the 5 stages of sandpaper I used. If you have some hard edges or lots of buildup on the fiberglass on your hot coat, you can always use your power sander first to get it started and then start buffing it out afterwards. As you can see, thing looks good. No problems. Pretty much blended back in with the board. Can hardly see where the fiberglass, the little dark area around it. I'm going to hit it with some 360 and some 400, which is an even finer grade, and that's really going to make it look nice. Alright, so let's recap. We did cleaning first, sanding and cleaning your ding first. Q-cell is the first step of filling. Then we did a sheet of fiberglass to add a little strength and integrity. If you have a larger ding, I recommend you doing that step twice with a larger sheet as the second. That'll add more strength, but in this case it was unnecessary. And our final is the hot coat. Lots of sanding in between. And this is what you'll have, guys. Alright, thanks for subscribing. Thanks for checking us out. Subscribe, like, whatever you can do. This is my first video, actually, so we'll have more on the way. Alright, guys.